Last year, when this place, they bought their 2 horizontal CNC mills, and they kind of bought one as like, okay, this is the machine we're going to use. The other is, this is the machine that we're just going to use it for parts. But as time's gone on, we needed some space. So the owner decided, okay, I think it's time that we just go ahead and strip the bad one down and scrap it. And man, that was a job. 3.5 days, all three of us working on tearing the thing apart. It was full of just dried oil and cast iron dust, carbon fiber, and aluminum. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Impractical Machinist podcast. My name is Patrick. You can find me on Instagram as @JobShopperTN.
And I'm Cameron from Machining is Cool. If you're listening to us or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating.
I'm Bradley with Marvel Machining. If you're on YouTube, be sure to give us a like and subscribe to the Practical Machinist YouTube channel.
On this episode, we're catching up on recent shop events. I've got a couple stories to tell, including my adventure in disassembling and scrapping an entire horizontal machining center. We'll also talk about becoming proficient in CAM software and when to keep leftover material. Also, raising the curtain on a new segment of the podcast. How's it going, all my people?
Remaking parts I scrapped. That's what's up.
Yeah, you and those darn threads.
Yeah, they got me.
It's okay. At least they're not 3816.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at least I screwed up a good thread. No, I'm remaking those parts that I talked about on the last episode that I screwed up the threads on.
Yeah,
I needed 9, and I scrapped 5 on that on that run. So I had to reorder material. It was like $700 of material, and now they're coming out great. Now that I figured that crap out,
that's good.
Just infuriating. And then also going back to it, like I had to set the machine back up again. I had to break it down, run some other stuff, and then set it back up for this job again. And like we typically don't break down our lathes. If anything, maybe change like your boring bars to a different size, or maybe change your stick out or something. But like all the tool numbers stay the same for the most part. You know, OD turn, like rougher finisher, maybe a grooving tool in there, face groover, boring, like 2 boring bars, whatever. So with how I had to do these, I had to completely change up the tool order. So yeah, had to break it down, set it back up like normal, and then break that down, set it back up like how I needed for this job, get it running again, which isn't terrible. At least the machine has a tool setter, so that does save a little bit of time, I guess.
That does help.
Frustration, especially with ID threader, boring bar, that sort of thing. And I'm boring with the drill as well, so I'm rough boring it all out with the drill after drilling. Anyways, they're coming out good. Now we got to do op 2 and figure that crap out. I've got to hold on to a what diameter is the other side of that? I think it's like a 4 or 5 inch diameter on a 24-inch chuck.
It's not as easy as it sounds.
No. That's the downsides of not having a lathe between an 8-inch chuck and a 24-inch chuck.
Is that a power chuck on that lathe?
Yep.
Or
yeah, okay. It's all hydraulic. Both our CNC lathes are.
Nice.
There's no way I'd want to do that with a manual chuck running stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, imagine doing that with like a manual 4-jaw or something.
I've never ran like a TL2 lathe or something like that. Do those have manual chucks?
They do.
Yeah.
And honestly, man, it's not bad when you're doing...
Right.
Actually, I'll be honest, it's actually nice when you're doing low quantity because, you know, you don't have to worry about actually taking the jaws off to go from...
That's very true.
A 1-inch diameter.
That's one of my least favorite things is throwing jaws in. Oh, yep. No, that's not right. Guessing. Let me move it out to serrations. No, still not right. Mm-hmm. So yeah, having a scroll truck in there would be nice for that. It would also be nice for like holding on to a finished surface that you don't want to like grip the crap out of. Mm-hmm. Even when you turn your chuck pressure down on, you know, like a hydraulic chuck, it's still sketchy. You know, you're like this part I'm doing, the other end of it's explosion proof, so there can't be any defects at all in the finish.
I mean, I've always had that issue with hydraulic chucks because like clamping on stuff that's like plastic, you know, or something, even though you have your chuck pressure turned down, it's fluid pressure, you know, so it's still kind of squeezing a little bit, even once it hits that pressure point.
Yeah.
And so it can, if you're clamping on a big plastic piece that's thin, it's easy to just pop it right out.
Right.
You know, just squeeze it down and pop it out of the chuck. So,
Well,
yeah, I mean, scroll chucks are handy for stuff like that.
I've never ran plastic on the lathe.
Yeah, imagine combining like two of your guys' least favorite things, plastic and lathes. Sounds like a terrible time.
That's the only lathe job that Brad has.
Yeah, it is.
How's the new skid steer working out?
Awesome.
Yeah,
I bet that's fun,
It was
man.
worth the purchase.
you probably wish you got that a long time ago.
I know, and I've unloaded a couple material trucks, and I'm like, damn man, I could have just bought one of these instead of a forklift
Right
to
in the
begin
first
with.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
but instead you got like 3 forklifts.
Yep. That skid's not going to lift up 15,000
Well, that's true. You
pounds
can
up.
at least move your machines with those.
Yeah.
Is that the only forklifts you have, or like giant?
I actually just sold one, but I had two that lifted 16,000 pounds each.
Yeah.
And then I got a little pallet stacker walk behind electric
Yeah.
ones.
Well,
That's pretty good.
that's kind of like our jump from an 8-inch chuck lathe to a 24-inch chuck lathe that we have going on.
Yeah.
We got a Toyota forklift.
Hmm.
Damn, I guess it's probably been in a year now. That thing's a beast. I love that thing. And he went all out when he bought it because it's got like the side shift for the forks and the spreader for the forks.
Oh, that's nice.
So when you're pulling up, you're just like, yeah, you know.
Does it rotate and flip over too?
No, but those are sweet. I've seen those.
Our the big one we have a heister that's 25,000 pounds, and it stays outside. It won't even fit in the building.
Yeah,
But man, it's
as a heister should. I call them a heister.
yeah. Man, it's wild watching it because it's a big old thing, but it's got that where you can actually tilt the forks, you know, forward and back, and also this way. It doesn't have I don't even think it has latches for the forks, left and right. You just slide them where you need it. Yeah,
But it tilts to left and right?
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense, Pat. You're going to tip that thing over and the forks are just going to try.
I mean, our last one had locks, but we never used them.
Yeah,
A
I
lot of
get
people
pissed
don't.
off when I'd get out and like go to kick a fork over and it was locked in place. Like, who the fuck is locking these things in place? Everybody knows you don't lock those.
No.
You don't lock it, and you don't wear the seatbelt.
No. Yeah.
Wait, your forklift's got a seatbelt on it?
Our new one does. I don't know if
Everywhere I've ever worked, man, they've either had the seatbelt safety thing disabled. I probably shouldn't be saying this on the podcast, but either that or they just keep it latched and you just sit on it.
Yeah. I think the only person to wear the seatbelt on our forklift is my daughter when she came up and climbed in there and pretended she was driving.
I think my forklift is exempt from seatbelts with the seatbelt law in Minnesota. I think it's like a 1960 or something.
Damn.
Wow.
I'd be afraid to buy something that old, you know? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if I had time to work on it and stuff, then whatever, you know, you can fix something like that. But like if I'm going to be using it for my business or something, you know, and I just wanted to work, get something from the 60s. It's like,
Yeah, it's a little
Like,
sketchy, but I got to
blow a hide line, you know?
Yeah.
What's it going to do?
Yeah. I mean,
Sure.
I got the first one for $2,000 and I got it before I had a machine getting delivered.
Yeah.
And the quote I got was like $3,400 for something to come out here. I'm like, yeah, no, fuck you guys. I'm just going to buy this forklift, use it once.
No, that's the way to do it too, though. Like,
I ended up, Cam, you'll love this. I had my courier company here. They have flatbeds. So I sent a courier to pick up my SL20. It was $230.
It's ridiculous, man.
Oh
I just
my
had to unload
God.
it.
How do you have just everything you need
Right.
there? I mean, I could send a tow truck, you know,
Right.
most of our machines. Well, actually, every one of our machines is coming up to the shop on a tow truck because they can't get a semi up there. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I happened to be ordering a courier. And I'm like, God damn, they got flatbeds too. I forgot about that. So then I threw it in and it's all done online. You just schedule it yourself. And it was like $230. I'm like, well, I guess we'll see if this works or not. And they
Crazy, man.
showed up.
like on a flatbed semi,
Yeah.
for how far did it have to go?
Productivity, probably about 25 miles.
Damn, like
Honestly, that's
not bad.
crazy.
for a
No.
flatbed semi, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Honestly, like the thought process of just buying a forklift and moving stuff yourself, I get it. That's how this place ended up with their 25K forklift.
Yeah.
So the shop used to be in Knoxville, which was like 40 miles away. And when they wanted to move down here to move all the benders and all the machines and all the equipment, they got quoted like, I don't know, like $56,000 or something.
Damn.
Yeah. And so,
That's whenever we move.
yeah, absolutely. So he had the idea, you know what? I can go get, and he did. He bought that Heister 25K forklift, an F350 Super Duty, used, of course, and a big trailer, and they moved everything themselves for less than 56 grand.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't think it'd be too hard to beat 56 grand.
No.
As long as you can get the forklift for cheap enough.
Yeah.
No,
and it was at an auction, like right down the road. They actually drove it on the highway from,
Oh, no
from
shit.
the auction place to here. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Now we've kicked around the idea of getting like a VersaLift or something at an auction,
Mm-hmm.
and like just for super cheap. That way, if we want to move stuff around ourselves or we get a new machine or whatever, then we can. But I don't know.
I was just talking to what's his name? Undaunted Manufacturer on Instagram. He called me today. He's looking to buy EC400. I wonder where he is. But he said he can't get riggers in his area to move machines at all. And he had I think he moved a VF5 in, and he had to rent a forklift for like $6,500.
Damn.
Mm.
Where is he at? I'm gonna look.
Wow. That stuff's not cheap.
North Carolina.
What? I figured he'd be able to get it. Oh, I guess it depends where he is.
Havelock, North Carolina.
It's Havelock.
Havelock, same thing.
I mean, it's not a small town there. I figured they'd have some stuff there.
Wow.
That's where I used to go to school.
Really?
Yeah. I was going to school to get my A&P license up there. That's Airframes and Power Plants license for working on aircraft. So I was going to do. Then I found a machine. That school was not great also. Like those kind of program, like it's all FAA like certified or whatever. So you have to have like a certain number of hours of classroom time in order to graduate, or in order to get your actual, or I guess in order to be able to be written off so that you can actually take the test, the A&P test. So we were there for 5 hours a night, 5 days a week. And it was an hour and a half from my house because I was in Jacksonville. And I would go work during the day, then drive an hour and a half there, and then sit there and do fucking nothing for 5 hours. Some days you wouldn't even see the instructor until he came in and was like, all right, you guys have a good night. It was ridiculous. So needless to say, I didn't finish that program.
Yeah, I can understand that.
They also wanted to squeeze in like a summer semester and do 6 hours and 4 days a week. I was like, dude, I'm already getting home at like midnight and then getting up at 6 to go to work. I'm not doing that.
No.
Worked out though. I'd probably be driving to the Atlanta airport every day if I had gotten that A&P license. And I'm not doing that. Atlanta's terrible. Anybody that's listening knows. If you've ever driven through Atlanta, you know it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I was just down there this morning. It amazes me how dumb so many people are. Every time I have to go somewhere like that, I came home today and was telling my wife, I'm like, we need to move to Montana, get a helicopter. Those are two things we need to do. Get away from all these damn people. Get a helicopter. So even when we are around people, I don't got to deal with them because I'm flying over them, laughing at them from my helicopter.
I can understand that. Oh, man. Well, speaking of going back a couple steps here, speaking of forklifts, I just wanted to share what I was up to last week. So let's see, last year when when this place, they bought their two horizontal CNC mills, Feeler FMH 500s. They bought two of them from a place in North Carolina, and they kind of bought one as like, okay, this is the machine we're going to use. The other is, this is the machine that we're just going to maybe fix or just use it for parts because it's in worse shape. But as time's gone on and things have changed here, we needed some space. So the owner decided, okay, I think it's time that we just go ahead and strip the bad one down and scrap it because it's really not worth anything to sell because we'd already taken parts off. Like I think there was a couple servos missing, some electronics parts, weight covers, the spindle.
Yeah.
So at that point, there ain't a whole lot left there of any value to anybody. So we didn't really have a lot of work in the shop. So all three of us, Mark, myself, and Jeff, started tearing it apart. And man, that was a job. It was 3.5 days, all three of us working on tearing the thing apart, kind of cleaning it, not really. Taking all the sheet metal
What
off.
clean shit? You
Yeah.
going to the scrapyard?
Yeah. We
That's
didn't
your
clean a
extra weight.
whole lot. Yeah. I was amazed at how much, I guess I expected too much. Whoever they bought it from did not clean it. And I think whoever they bought it from did not clean it
Yeah.
because it was full of just dried oil and cast iron dust, carbon fiber, and aluminum.
You guys are cleaning machines?
Well, yeah. Kind of like a car, you clean it up before you sell it to bump the value up a little bit.
Right.
I guess not.
Dude, I washed my truck for the first time in like 2 years. Not even joking.
Well, you're not planning on selling it though.
No.
Man, I get like 3 car washes a week.
Really? I don't
Yeah.
ever go to a drive-through car wash. Because the ones around here suck.
I got a good one in
I only got
town.
2 options, so I'm not like you living in friggin' Minnesota you probably got 12 car washes around you. You probably got some guy that'll come out to your house and wash your truck in 30 minutes for $12.
No, I pay for
Make sure
limited
you're
car
over and wash
wash.
your truck.
So every time I swing by that place, I go through. Sometimes it's twice a day if I go by there.
Damn. Yeah. I used to go through the drive-through ones, but my paint would get all jacked up from it.
Really?
Yeah.
I only go through this one. It's the only one I trust.
We had a good one when I was in Jacksonville. It was a touchless, and it actually worked though. Like I've only ever tried one that actually worked, and that thing was legit. So I'd hit that all the time. But yeah, now I can't be lazy, so I can't do a lazy car wash. So therefore, I just don't do a car wash.
If you do it weekly,
Yeah,
it works.
I think I've only been to I've only been to manual car washes, not them fancy CNC car washes. Oh boy.
them lazy CNC car washes.
Yeah. CNCs are just a fad anyway.
Yeah, they'll be out of here in no time.
But yeah, so I mean, I had fun doing it. Don't get me wrong. I'm back to tearing down this horizontal.
Well,
But
anything car wash.
No, yeah, not really.
You got that 350 in that Chevy, man. You can pull that whole car wash down, no problem.
Well, but yeah, it was fun, but it was a job. I was so filthy. I think I might have ruined a pair of pants. I mean, they were just soaked in oil.
Why'd you shit yourself?
Thought about it.
I think it'd be cool to tear something like that apart just to dig into it and see how everything works.
Honestly, yeah.
You
Honestly,
put it
yeah,
back
Cam.
together, which is the cool part.
Yeah,
And I like taking stuff apart just to see how it all works,
right.
But then
Putting it back together, not so
that's
much.
the part I don't like.
Yeah, that's the part I don't like either.
bored.
But it was neat to see how it works because really, I've never really seen the guts of a CNC machine that much. I mean, we just kind of the maintenance guy at my last job, we just kind of gave him a wide berth when he was working on stuff because usually it was bad timing and he wasn't in the best mood. Sorry, Avery.
Yeah.
But it was neat to see it, and like my coworker got a kick out of how I kept these horizontals. They're just like brads. The head moves X and Y, and when we had the sheet metal off, I could just grab the ball screw and turn it by hand and move, like a 4,000-pound head assembly back and forth just by turning it by hand. I was like, this is so cool.
That is pretty cool.
Just didn't expect to be able to do that, But yeah, we took a lot of stuff off, and then this is the crazy thing. Those machines are like 29,000 pounds fully assembled. We took off all the sheet metal. We kept a lot of parts. We kept the whole head assembly, the ball screws, the servos. We even kept the coolant tank and the conveyor. We might try to put the conveyor on the Haas. That'd be sweet. And so the part that we actually scrapped, we scrapped all the sheet metal. That was like 5,000 pounds. And then we scrapped the base casting and the electrical cabinet. That by itself was 15,940 pounds. Just that weighs more than our Haas VF4 fully assembled.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, VF4 isn't exactly small. Yeah.
No, not at all.
How much does the VF4 weigh?
That'd be 15,
14 or 15.
Yeah.
VF3 is like 12.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So it blew my mind that it's that heavy. And mind you, that machine had like 27 by 24 by 30 travel or thereabouts and a pallet changer.
Yeah.
So I mean there is a lot of weight. It's not like Brad's pallet pool, but there's a lot of weight there. But it was 16 grand or 16,000 pounds worth of stuff. We probably got like, I don't know, $500 for scrap.
Yeah. What's scrap rate at?
I ain't got a clue.
Uh,
I saw the sign down at the scrap yard for like a car or something. I think it's $9 a hundred. So
dude,
Carbide scrap is up right now.
it is.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Carbide scrap is up. What's
You
that?
gotta look up. I've been seeing and hearing like 18.
No shit.
Yeah, 17,
Ready to go.
18.
If you're listening, time to scrap that carbide.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cash in your beer money.
I got like 280 pounds.
Oh man.
That adds up, dude.
They told me to start shipping it to them in USPS boxer.
Yeah.
Brad will go buy another machine with it.
Hey, well, at my last job, I started using the Seco
$5,000.
program. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
$5,000. If it's
Is it?
18 bucks.
Wow. It adds up. I was gonna say I remember
I'll watch it
scrapping
for a month.
like 500 pounds or so of carbide
Really?
at my last job. I mean, that was like 8 years worth of collection, but it was we got about $6,000 for it back then. Of course, the
Yeah.
carbide wasn't what it is now. And I told them, hey, we wouldn't have even got this money if it wasn't for me reaching out to the Seco guy and setting all this up. So
How
can
much?
we use this for something in the shop? Can we buy a probe for one of the mills or something? Never happened. Just went in somebody's pocket.
How much?
What do they do with the carbide blanks or the scrap? What do they do with them?
I don't know.
I'm not really sure. I've always wondered like what happens when they actually get the scrap.
Mm-hmm.
This carbide essentially is like a powder that's pressed, right? And then centered.
Yeah.
As far as I know, I'm not an expert on that by any means.
That we should have asked.
That's the extent of my knowledge. So
We should ask Tom that from his car. Maybe next time we have a tooling guy
Yeah,
on here,
you're
we'll
right.
ask him out.
didn't I ask
think-
him that?
I think he did, and he said he didn't know.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I think we asked Dave too in the chat, and he said he didn't know either.
So nobody knows.
so
I
he's
would- I
probably
would- Assume it would be something like somehow they get it back into that powder form.
ChatGPT. Short answer: they recycle it. Carbide, usually tungsten, is collected, sorted, cleaned, processed, recovered, and turned back into powder or alloy that is used to make new carbide products.
I'm a genius.
okay.
You probably go through mine and find some good ones that I was just frustrated with and threw in there.
Some junk.
We definitely don't use our carbide near as much as I'm sure other people would. I mean, you could dig through ours right now and find some end mills that'll still cut just fine.
I get like a chipped corner sometimes, and it looks like something. Oh, fuck
Yeah.
that thing.
No, we do the same. Well, and
Yeah.
also like really the majority of what you're going to find in there that's still good is our finishing end mills.
Yep.
And so the end mills that we finish with, we're not going to go rough with. 'Cause, I mean, well, we've got standardized tools in all the mills. So our 5-flute chip breaker that we rough everything with, we're not going to go throw a 4-flute or 6-flute, solid flute end mill in, just for funsies to rough something out. Like, I ain't got time for that.
No,
So-
me neither.
We ended up just
Yeah.
scrapping them once they get to where they give a shitty finish.
That's what we were doing. Although that's about to change. But yeah, like if your finisher gets dull,
Yeah.
you just keep it for a rougher. Because here it's the same thing, but
Yeah.
that's about to change.
Well, we used to do that, and then we tried out some chip breakers, and there was like a complete game change. I mean, anybody who's gone from a straight flute or solid flute, whatever you want to call it, to a chip breaker, and you no longer have like all those long ass chips piling up around your part and getting recut and all that stuff. Like, you're not going back. We're not going back.
Absolutely.
Not only did it saved us time, frustration, tools, not having to worry about recutting chips.
And
Broke end mills. I can't tell you how many end mills we broke just from like grab a whole pile of like a wad of chips and wrap around it, break the
Yeah.
end mill.
do your mills, Cam? Do they have what's their chip extraction like? Got conveyors, augers?
Yeah,
Or
pretty much all of them have augers that push the chips to a conveyor.
nice.
So all the D&M mills, it's big open cabinet that's slanted down to the augers, and then the
Mhm.
augers push it forward to an open cavity, and the chip conveyors are just running underneath that cavity all the time. So when they
Nice.
fall down in there, they just get carried out. They're pretty good, especially when you're using chip breakers. Now it wasn't as good whenever we were using straight fluid or solid fluid end mills. Those just, I mean, you know how it is. Those long stringy chips are hard to get out. So, but yeah,
That's how my horizontal is too. Same thing. The augers push it and then it's
Yeah.
conveyed. But if I run like a solid end mill like that thing built it
dude, yeah.
shit fills up.
Ours
It's
too. But the
ridiculous.
chip breakers, like another benefit,
But hold on. You don't have a Haas zone here and it doesn't work.
right?
Everybody listening.
Yeah.
That
No, those D&Ms. Well, we typically rough. Well, for as long as I've been there, most of the parts you're roughing is with a 1/2 inch by 1.5 inch flute end mill. And so if you got 1.5 inch, 1.25 inch length of cut, and you're roughing, I mean, those chips are kind of long, and
Yep.
they all just stick together. And so yeah, they're not getting out of the machine until you make them.
Yep, they
Sure.
get nested up and then they start collecting everything.
Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
yeah, no, the chip breakers, like chip breakers and face mills and high feed mills, that's what all our roughing is being done by. Sometimes shoulder mills. So you've got nice compact chips. Don't got to do anything.
Yeah.
So the only machine that gives us trouble is that BVM that we have, that bridge mill. But it's still not even trouble. It's not bad. It's just like one corner. They tend to pile up, but you get in there in like 5 seconds with a broom handle, knock it out. You're good to go. I did start adding there's an M13 M code for the like the washdown coolant. So I started adding that on like the last tool path of the job or of the cycle. And so now as it's running, like obviously you get to your last tool path, it runs that flood coolant or that washdown coolant the whole time. And it's actually been working great. Like it prevents it from actually being able to build up. And if you do that, then it's no issue.
I need to start doing that on our feeler because it's got similar on the vertical mill. It's got a chassis path, which is like M15, and it's got a setup just like your Doosan's, Cam. It's 2 augers going down to a conveyor, and that is just an awesome setup.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a fan. Even when you go to clean it out manually, like
Mm-hmm.
it's easy, and especially like you got the side windows. I'll pop those off, get in there with an old broom, and just sweep them all to the front of the machine, and then move the table to the back of the machine and come around the front, and then just sweep them right down into the conveyor, and you're done. Takes like 5 minutes maybe.
That's nice.
And they actually make it out of the conveyor too. It's not like they're getting jammed up in there. Like if you get it to the conveyor, you're good.
Mm-hmm. I know it's funny. I've been meaning to bring this up, although I don't know if we've talked about this before. But like, how often do you guys do like a machine clean out? Is there you work off a schedule, every day or every other day or what?
We'll do
I
one.
watch mine down almost every morning
Yeah.
while my warm up cycle's running. I usually, if I'm hogging out a lot of stuff, I try to wait in my verticals at least. I try to wait till the morning to run my auger and push everything out. So while it's warming up, I'll pull everything to the front and run the augers. And by the time the warm up's done, all the chips are out. And that way, overnight, all the coolant has gone through what it needs to. So I don't lose much coolant.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, that's a good way to do
interesting.
it. We usually, now that we've kind of got the recipe down with like chip breakers and all that stuff, it's usually not a big issue. Like there's not a lot of stuff built up in the machine. So usually if we do it, it'll be Monday mornings. We always clean Monday morning. And so part of our Monday morning cleanup is just basically getting in there with a broom and sweeping all the crap towards the conveyor. Let the conveyor haul it out.
That's interesting. I mean, because everywhere I've been, it's usually like
Friday afternoon or
yeah, exactly, or
weekend.
the last day of the week. Yeah, and
Yeah.
usually
Who the hell wants to do that on a Friday afternoon? No, I'm ready to get the
Right.
hell out of there. That or
But-
I'm like sweating trying to finish up whatever it is I'm doing, and I don't have
Right.
time to clean.
Right.
So Monday morning's where it's at, man. Like you come back in, we work 4/10s, and so you got Friday to Sunday that you're off. So you come back in Monday morning, and like, I don't know, your first day back at work, head's not really in the game yet. So get in there, everybody just goes straight to it. We start cleaning the shop,
Mhm.
got the trash, put everything back away. All the T gauges and mics and thread gauges and all that stuff that's been left out all week. Put all that stuff back. Put back all the soft jaws you had out, whatever random stuff. So go through, do all that, get the machines cleaned out, dump all the chip buckets, sweep, wipe down. We wipe down at least one machine a week, and you rotate. That way, once every 5 or 6 weeks, a machine's getting wiped down. And then all the toolboxes, we got matching toolboxes at every mill. That way everything's the same at each mill. The lathes, obviously, they're different because they're very different lathes. But anyway, so we'll wipe down the toolboxes too, just to keep everything clean, keep it from looking like a nasty machine shop.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of how we do it. It usually takes about 2 hours, get everything done, but then it's done for the week.
Right.
And now you've got a nice, fresh, clean shop. And by that point, it's 9 o'clock. You're awake. You're ready to start like actually digging something, using your brain. So
That's I'm gonna have to see if I can convince Mark to get on board with that.
Yeah.
Um,
We should start doing it.
yeah. Well, he's the boss, so I got to do what he wants. But yeah,
it's nice, man.
yeah, I can get behind that. I've never done that before. Everywhere I've worked has always been like you said, last day of the week, end of the day. And I tell you what always happens for me. I'm bad about running up because I want to get to a stopping point on
Right.
Thursday, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to just stop like mid tool path or whatever. I want to finish the finish the part or whatever, but can't really get any overtime. So what'll happen is, I've got to stop somewhere around 4 because I've probably got 2 mills to clean out, and they're usually a mess by Thursday if I've had any work to do at all. So, and then I end up either rushing that, and I end up with not a great cleanup, or like my tools are laid everywhere, between the 2 machines and everything.
Yeah. No, that's exactly why I like the Monday morning cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
And like you do sacrifice some machine time, obviously. Like you're not actually making parts until 8:30, 9 o'clock. So you're paying everybody for an hour to 2 hours to just clean. However, like everything has a home. So everything is put back where it goes. So now whenever you need something, you know where it's going to be. You just go grab it where it's supposed to be, from where it's supposed to be, and it's there. So I feel like you do kind of save some on the back end by doing that, because everything is back where it's supposed to be, and it's not a mess. You're not spending time looking for stuff.
Well,
and all that, it just feels good to have a clean shop.
oh, I'm sure.
You're just starting off on a good foot for the week. And then also like throughout the week, you're just hauling ass, and your chips are flying all over the place. You're blowing out castings and, with cavities, and chips are flying all over the floor and all over the shop. You're like, whatever, clean that shit up Monday, don't worry about it.
So we're about halfway through here. Brad, you want to reveal the news, the new segment?
Yayhoo or Nayhoo? We're gonna do some random questions. I haven't opened them yet. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
So we're going to decide if it's a Yahoo question or a Nayhoo question. Is it legit or is it Yahoo? All right.
Yep.
And we haven't seen any of these questions yet. It's all new to us.
Ian sent them and made them up for us. All right. So work holding and setup hacks. Let's see. Hammer time. Tapping the side of your vise with a dead blow to seat the part after tightening. Yayhoo or not Yayhoo?
Tapping the side of your vise?
Tapping the part down, I'd assume.
Yeah.
I do it.
Tapping the part down is definitely Nayhoo.
Yeah.
Now, if it's a part that you've got to maintain, a flatness on, then I would say that's Yahoo. You don't tap it down when it needs to be flat.
No.
True. Yeah. It depends. Is what you're saying. Yeah.
It depends.
We cannot start this with a "it depends," Cam.
We got to start with it. It depends. It only fits.
I would say no. Nayhoo.
Yeah, Nayhoo. Tapping parts down is a Nayhoo.
All right, next one. Paper trick. Using a piece of cigarette paper or Post-it to feel the part square when setting a vise. Cigarette paper, that's like an old tool and die trick. He definitely worked for some old people.
Yeah.
Rolling their own cigarettes. I would say Nayhoo. I mean, I basically do the same thing with feeler stock,
Yep.
like thousandth feeler stock. Now, I mean, I don't how thick is cigarette paper? Isn't that like
Oh, I think
It's
3,000?
usually thin.
Thin.
I want to say it's like 1,000th or 2,000ths or something. It's
Yeah.
thinner than standard like copy paper.
Which is like usually, I don't know, usually I get like 4 or 5 thousandths out of that.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people used to use the plastic wrap too on a box of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Out of the cellophane.
Yeah, that stuff.
I'll say Nayhoo. It's Yahoo if you have to do stuff like that, but I do it all the time. Heck, I use cardboard. Like if you're clamping, 2 unsquare faces and you need something to kind of fill the gap just so you can square it up.
It makes sense. You are the resident Yahoo expert, so
Yeah,
it's
but
not for,
be a
not for no
Yahoo.
reason. Yeah. No, that's actually that's not a bad little tip. Like if all you got is hard jaws, then you can throw some cardboard in there so you get a little bit extra. Maybe even
works.
a piece of wood, a little piece of a pallet.
All right, that's getting pretty Yahoo.
Let's see. Bolt on soft jaws. Instead of machining proper soft jaws, just bolt on a random block of aluminum into your vise and machine against it.
That's
Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you're just throwing your part in there and then using it like hard jaws?
Well, I've heard of people doing that where they don't actually even bolt the jaw on. They just put like 2 blocks in between their regular hard jaws, machine it, and then use that to clamp the part. I can't get behind that.
That sounds pretty Yahoo.
I'm glad we're all in agreement here.
What do you think, Brad? Is that Yahoo or Nayhoo?
Yahoo. Indicator extension. Can't reach with the test indicator. Duct tape it to a drill blank and keep going. I don't think I've ever done that.
No, I've never done that either.
I
would say Yahoo. However, I mean, like, whenever you say something's Yahoo, that doesn't mean it doesn't work.
no,
Yeah.
It's just a Yahoo way of doing things.
yeah,
That's
it's
Yahoo.
it's redneck and it's not ideal, and it is Yahoo. If you had to, it would work, I
Well, you
guess.
gotta do what you gotta do. I mean,
that
if it's
point,
a
you may
good
as well-
job, good tape job, you should be fine, right?
May as well just weld it on.
Yeah, might as well.
Right. Vice handle physics. Leaving a cheater bar on your Kurt vice handle to make sure it's tight enough. I don't have Kurt's and I don't use vice handles, so just don't use Pat's vice handle. That doesn't work.
Look, man. All right. I don't like that idea. I think if you're machining hard enough that you got to use a cheater bar on a Kurt vice handle, you need to change your strategy, I think.
And just
But-
tap your hammer.
You just need a bigger vice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would say leaving the cheater bar on there all the time just so you can tighten the absolute dog shit out of it. That's Yahoo.
Yeah.
Very Yahoo. And then I don't know if you've ever seen those vices, but they end up being bowed.
Yep.
Mhm.
Have you seen that? Yeah, that's Yahoo
Yeah,
all the way.
quick story. One programmer I worked with was telling me about where he worked at a production shop that did like hydraulic stuff, and they had a horizontal kind of like Brad's, and they would do production on it. They had 8-inch curved vices, and the handles on them things are like 18 inches long or so, and they would push stuff so hard, like they would run 3-4 inch drills in these blocks.
Damn.
They would push stuff so hard that they would, tighten down on it as hard as they could by hand, like bear their weight on the vice handle, and then take a hammer and, hammer it down. And so like every 6 months they had to replace the thrust bearings on their vices. And it's like, dude,
I mean, I don't know.
you're doing something wrong if you got to do that.
I can see it from both sides. Like if by doing that you're able to run things like a significant amount faster, or run a 3-inch drill, for maybe like the part has a 3-inch hole, so you can just one shot it with a 3-inch drill and you don't have to worry about it. Like, I don't know. I guess maybe I could see it. However, personally, I care about reliability. I don't want to have to rely on, some Yahoo to tighten the vise down to some extreme amount of tightness in order to actually run the part and then not sling it out or crash the machine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty Yahoo.
All right. Parallel substitute. No parallels around. Grab a couple Allen keys or drill bits to set the part up off the vise floor. I've used drill bits.
Depends on the
Yeah.
accuracy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I've
Shanka
used
drill
drill
bits are
bits.
pretty damn accurate too, though.
Yep.
So they're precise.
I've used random pieces of aluminum flat bar,
I've
like
used
a quarter inch or eighth inch.
steel blanks.
Yeah.
Oh, those are great for parallels.
Yeah.
But is it Yahoo?
Oh man,
It depends.
it depends. Yeah.
I'm going to say it is because it is janky. I don't know. I'm actually a little torn on that one because like the creative aspect of it works. A lot of people may
Yeah.
not think about that.
I have a hard time calling it Yahoo, but I think it's because I'd be calling myself a Yahoo.
Nothing wrong with that. People call me that all the time.
Yeah. Well, you are. No, I think that's Yahoo. But I would definitely do it.
Right.
I would do it myself.
Quick indicating, eyeballing your vise square to the T slots and saying close enough for this job. I've done it.
I've done it. However, Yahoo.
Yeah.
You forget about that shit and somebody else
Oh,
comes
yeah.
behind you, or you forget and you come behind you. And then you're like, damn, why are my holes 30 thousandths off?
Yep. I've done it where I've had to throw something in quick and I knew I was going to remove the vise right after anyway. So it's just fuck it, go. Next stop is soft jaws anyway.
Right.
Well, first of all, Yahoo, but I would say, yeah, I mean, I have done that. We're just a bunch of Yahoos, ain't we? Because I think most of these have been like, it's Yahoo. I've done it.
We are impressed.
But like, usually when I do that, I mean, I'll throw the vise up there and then I'll at least write on it, not
indicated.
trammed or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you, I'm sure all of us have done this at one point. You throw a vise on the machine, on the table, and you go to indicate it, and it's already like perfectly indicated.
You got to knock it out, make
You got to
sure.
knock it out to make sure.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
You just
I
leave
ain't
it.
doing that.
You run it across like 3 times and you're like, there's no fucking way it's that
I wiggle
perfect.
the indicator. I'm like, I mean, it's in the range, but
I live with
feels
it.
wrong.
Yeah.
Tap it out and then you spend 15 minutes trying to get it back
Right.
as good as it was.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love when that happens. It doesn't happen very often, but
Yeah.
it's pretty great when it does. Of course, if you're smart like Brad, you got all your stuff doweled, then
Right.
Yeah.
it kind of happens automatically.
I like when you swap out a tool and you touch it off and it's the exact same. You're like, did I touch that off?
Right.
Did I do
Yeah.
it right? How the fuck is it the same?
Yeah.
I've done it with shrink fit holders
Yeah.
where it's like 5/10 off. I'm like, what the hell?
I just did that when I was
Nice.
setting that damn job back up again on the lathe. Didn't know if it was touched off or not. And so I touched it off again. I was like, that number didn't change. I don't know if I trust it. So I added like an inch to it and then touched it off again. I was like, okay, it changed. All right, we're good.
Yeah, I have done that before just because
Yeah.
it's like, you get that little voice in your head that's like, that doesn't
Dude,
make
every
sense.
time you get that voice, listen to
Listen.
it.
Yes.
I've learned the hard way so many times on that where like you just have that little voice. It's like, hey, maybe you should check this thing. And you're like, I mean, I know it's good. It should be fine. It's never fine. Always check. Always listen to it. Yeah.
All right. Shims everywhere. Building a stack of random shim stock feeler gauges or even beer cans under a part until it runs true.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm coming from castings and weldments. So you gotta shim shit all the time.
Yeah, you
know?
kind of have to do that.
Yeah.
I can't call that Yahoo. I mean, yeah, you there's really no proper solution to that other than not doing weldments or castings.
Now, how we store our shims, Yahoo, literally all just in one drawer. So you're filtering through, like measuring each one with calipers. Like, what fucking size is this? Yeah, Yahoo. I want a filing cabinet for my. I was talking to Logan about this the other day. I want a damn filing cabinet, and those little folders you put in the filing cabinet that have the little hooks where they hang.
Oh,
And it could be like 1,000th 3,000, 5,000, whatever. And then you just throw your shim stock in there. That way, when you need 7,000 shim stock, you just boom, 7,000.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Because even when you buy like a set of like
Yeah,
a
it's all
packet
just-
of shim stock, it's all in there together.
Yeah.
And,
Which is
and you
like that cardboard box that it comes in is still in that drawer.
yeah.
But like 60% of it is already cut into pieces and outside of the cardboard box. So
And usually when you cut a piece off, you end up cutting off the label that tells you the thickness.
exactly.
So
Yeah. But yeah, no, shimming parts with whatever it is you got, I don't know. You got to do what you got to do. And it's not like there's just a perfect solution for that. So I would say Nayhoo. However, the storage can definitely be Yayhoo in our situation.
2 vise special. Need more length than 1 vise. Clamp across 2 vices at once with no alignment between them. Well, my vices are always aligned. So
Well, with no alignment between them, are you just not indicating them together? You just throwing them in there?
must be.
Because that's definitely Yayhoo.
yes.
But if you're indicating them together, that's 100% Nayhoo.
Right.
I'd assume most people, if you got more than 1 vise on your table, you indicate them together. I guess maybe some people don't.
I mean, we've
Some
definitely
people don't.
you just have an op 1 and an op 2. And so you just make sure they're both indicated individually.
Yep.
Not necessarily together because they don't need it. So we've done that. However,
I
that
feel like that's one of the things that you might shoot yourself in the foot
Exactly.
where you clamp across 2 vices.
it's bit us a time or two.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's also faster.
Cam's a Yahoo here.
I am a Yahoo. It's also fast. Like we have just precision ground bar stock that we keep for whenever you need to, align 2 vices. And so it's honestly faster if you've already got 1 vise on the table anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's already indicated. You just throw the vise on, throw your bar stock in there, clamp them both down on the bar stock, and you're already 90% of the way there.
Yeah.
So
I used to run a big Fadal machine, and we could fit like 10 vices across it. Every now and then I'd just indicate 1 in and then 1 or 2 or maybe the 2 end ones, and then I'd clamp just the bar stock across everything and tighten them down.
Yep.
But we were only running tube stock in that machine for big ass frames, so it didn't really matter.
yeah.
But it did catch me a couple times. Same thing. Get a part in there that it needs to be in. It's like, oh shit. Let's see. Clamp on clamp when a strap clamp won't quite reach. Bolt in another clamp to it for extra length.
That's a Pat move right there.
I have never heard of that in my life, but I want to do that now.
Pat's gonna do it tomorrow.
Yep.
I hope not. I hate having to use clamps.
Yeah.
Wow, why have I never thought of that before? I've always just made the slot longer.
I'll flip it over to the other way so I can reach a little further because one side's shorter than the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
There's been many clamps I've got a hold of where I've taken and like cut the slot like a half inch longer, an inch longer or something. Oh, wow.
So is it Yayhoo or Nayhoo?
Yahoo.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I thought about it. It's cool. I mean,
That's why you got so excited. It's because it's Yayhoo.
exactly. And hold on. You know what the beauty of this is? I'm getting so much Yahoo material.
Pat,
You need to remember all
Pat
this for your videos.
Pat's learning new ways to do things.
Yeah.
That too.
He's gonna start smoking and double strap clamping.
Don't know about the first one.
He'd be rolling his own cigarettes.
Oh,
He didn't
man.
have it rolled up in his sleeve.
I could see it with his hair all greased.
If I keep on, I'll start wearing backwards hats, get me some tattoos.
You should.
Shoot, buddy.
You'd look good.
Yeah.
You should just do some temp tattoos for a video.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, you should.
Wow.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Ian Sandusky here.
Yeah, you gotta look for the Canadian accent, eh?
Yeah. I always end up going like proper Minnesota, not whatever Brad is,
Yeah.
but like Rich.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Rich definitely
I
has
love his voice. Oh. So is that it, Brad?
Yep, that was 10 for that
Okay.
one. We'll save the other ones for the next one.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah,
So I'm
who
gonna
are
say-
they?
I'm going to say, hey, let us know if you liked that. I certainly did. And And, we'll certainly be taking ideas.
Yeah.
Message one of us and let us know if you got some
Yeah.
ideas.
Or comment with your Yayhoo or Nayhoo ideas.
Comment down below.
Yeah, there you go.
You want to do one of these questions you got on here? Are these questions?
Yep.
Or are they just topics?
I did want to hit you guys up about two things here. I've already shared it with you guys, but we shipped out a die set last week, and UPS lost it.
How big was the die set?
When dollar value of $6,000.
Size wise,
as far as the size, it wasn't huge. It all fit in I think a 12 by 12 by 8 box.
Oh, and it was a die set.
Yeah, you're thinking like a traditional stamping die.
Yeah.
Bend die sets are different, Brad. But yeah, and to be clear, I think what UPS claimed is that the box came undone, and they don't know what happened to the parts, of course. But mind you, I mean, it was 90 pounds worth of parts in a box rated for 100 pounds. We reinforced it with tape, cardboard, all that stuff. I will say in the future, we're not going to ship stuff probably more than 50 pounds in a box, regardless of what it's rated at.
Yeah, I would have split that in two.
Right. But UPS is actually fighting us on, even we paid for it to be insured.
Yeah.
And they're fighting us on paying us for it.
Dude, we've been through the same thing. I don't remember exactly what all happened because I wasn't the main guy dealing with it. But it seems like every time we've got some copper parts that we would send down to some platers in Atlanta, and it's like every time we would UPS it, they would get lost. It's a heavy package. Somehow some crackhead working for UPS knew they were copper, where he took that shit and scrapped it. But it's like it's going an hour away from us.
Mm-hmm.
We're shipping an hour and away, and multiple times the exact same parts going to the exact same place have been lost. They just don't make it there.
So somebody knows what's going to that place.
I think so.
Oh.
That or just somewhere along the way, somebody's like, "Man, this is pretty heavy. I wonder what this is."
That is fishy.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they were insured. We insure it every time, but I don't know if we've ever gotten paid for any of them. We've had to buy the copper, make the parts again, ship them again.
Yeah, so we're remaking those parts now because as far as we know, they're just gone.
Yeah.
Which really stinks because I mean all that material, the time.
That's why whenever you're making stuff like that, and you got to ship it somewhere, I think it's good to just build in to the price the freight cost.
Yep.
Ship it freight, because you can throw that in a box and strap it down to a pallet and then saran wrap it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
Should.
I had way early probably the first year I was in business back in 2013, I shipped some parts, just post office, local customer. Usually the shit got there overnight, and 3 days later they called and asked where the parts were, and I was like, oh, I shipped them, and I checked the tracking and it said something interruption, and they ended up losing them. There wasn't enough insurance to cover them, so I had to remake them. But all the parts that I shipped, I always put a tag on them with the part number and everything, and on the back side I put a Marvel sticker on it. About 8 months later, some dude calls me, he emails me, he's like, hey, I got some of your parts. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I bought a container from the Atlanta place and I found your box of parts.
Okay.
You want to buy them back from me? I'm like, no, motherfucker, just ship them to me. He said, no. He's like, what's the scrap value on these? I'm like, dude, you're a dick. Just ship them back to me. And he's like, well, how about you just tell me who your customer is and I'll try to sell them to them.
Well, sounds like
I think he must have scrapped them. He wouldn't send them back to me.
Yeah.
And the picture he sent me, the box that they were in wasn't even damaged. And he had all the parts out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Jeez, man.
Motherfuckers being motherfuckers. That's Atlanta right there.
Yeah.
How do they go from Minnesota to Atlanta? How is that
Dude, I don't know, man. I've had some crazy tracking before that does stuff like that. This is just ping ponging all over the country.
I suppose. I actually just had some stuff shipped from China, and it showed it came from China to Alaska, back to China to Missouri.
Huh.
And it was all in like one day. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Good grief.
And then from Missouri here, it took like 4 days.
of course. But yeah, so I guess what do you do in that scenario besides, I don't know, just remake the parts?
Yeah, I mean, you just have to communicate to the customer that, hey, we've got this issue. It's not our fault, but we're going to do the best we can to get you parts as quick as we
Yeah.
can.
And I mean, that's about all you can do. I mean, if UPS loses it or whatever shipping company loses it, that's out of your hands. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And so you remake it as fast as you possibly can. You tell the customer what's up, and if they're complete dickbags about it, then maybe they're not a great customer.
I've read people ask this comment on like Facebook and stuff a few times on some of the machining things. What do you do if your package is lost? Is it on me or is it on the customer? I mean, I always say you're gonna have to remake the parts one way or the other. It doesn't even matter if the agreement is once they're handed off and you're using your customer shipping account info, they still want their fucking parts.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if you tell them to get lost, well, you're gonna lose work from them anyway. So you just gotta bite and do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, ultimately, it's something to take up with a shipping company, but unfortunately, it's hard to get anything out of that. I mean, the bad thing in our case here is like this was a new customer.
Oh, man.
This is the first job that that I've seen us do for this customer, and hopefully they understand, and it's not going to impact the future with them, but it could, because and then it's the thing that always bums me out with stuff like this is this job went well. We made really good time on it. The owner should have made good money on this. And then that happened out of nowhere, something completely out of our control, just screwed the whole thing up.
I assume though you got some sort of proof that you shipped it and there's some sort of tracking where it went to. So you can at least, it's not like I've worked at companies where they'll tell a customer they ship something and then 3 weeks later, customer still doesn't get it. At least in this case, you can show, hey, this is the tracking number.
Oh yeah.
You got enough documentation that it was actually shipped.
Right.
So,
oh yeah, we've got that, because if I remember right, it made it to like 3 UPS hubs. It made it up somewhere in Ohio, and that's where it got lost. So, but yeah.
How long did it take to remake them?
Well, it took us another like week to get material, but we're about done with them. We'll probably have them turned around in about a week. So 2 weeks plus about 2 weeks. It is one of those things, like it's always faster the second time, but you don't make any money the second time around either.
No. Well, sometimes the second time you make it faster.
Yeah. In theory.
Next question you want to go on to?
Yep.
You want to do the keeping excess material?
Yeah. I think that'll be quick. I just wanted to ask you guys about that. I don't know why I'm the one with all the questions tonight, but last week I was going through our excess stock rack, which was getting messy, and I cleaned it out. And I wanted to go more, but it got to where I was starting to fear for my job, because the owner likes to keep everything, and both of the shops I've worked at are that way. Like you keep your drops, but I cleaned out a lot of junk, man. There was a lot of just tiny things like, 1-inch cubes of stuff, or like scrap parts that we could make something out of, but it'd be a pain, or, parts that looked like somebody started, they had like holes or slots cut in them, and that was it. It's like, hey, there's no point in keeping stuff like this.
Right.
So, because the stock rack was just super cluttered. We've only got like 4 different kinds of material that we deal with here. It's S7, 4140, mild steel, and a little bit of aluminum. That's it. So, whereas at my last job, it was everything. We had copper, brass, aluminum, different kinds of aluminum, whatever. So I wondered how you guys do. I know both of you kind of get stuff cut ahead of time. I know, especially you, Brad. But do you keep it? Do you scrap it?
Yeah.
I keep some stuff. I usually probably once a month I go through and just start tossing stuff that's been sitting too long. I mean, it's like you said, I can get a part and go find a piece of random material. It might be a part that's 2x2x2, and I have a random 5x8 by whatever. And it's like, do I saw cut it down? Do I just machine it away? Usually it's just not worth it for me to dick around with that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kind of the same way. Like we keep a decent amount of bar stock on hand for just random stuff. And I mean, some of that bar stock is stuff we probably won't replenish until it's needed.
Mhm.
It's really once we went and got organized, we realized we had a whole bunch of extra stuff. We're not going to throw away entire bars of material. And so I think part of it depends on how well you can organize your extra material. So
Yeah.
if you can have all that extra stuff organized pretty well to where when you need it, you can go find it, and it's not taking up shop space that could be used for something more valuable, then what's the harm? It's
Mhm.
kind of where I'm at. But like at this point, if we were to start saving every little bit of material we could, we would run out of space for it all, and it would just end up being junked up like it used to be,
Yeah.
and then you couldn't find anything. So it's almost like, what's the point? Because then it gets to the point where you're like, well, I could go look around for 15 minutes and like hurt myself trying to get material,
Yep.
That's
or we
about
can just
right.
order what we need because it should be quoted into the job anyway. So you
Yeah.
just keep ordering what you need for the job and not even looking at what you have on hand.
I actually had a thought the other day, since for some reason, I know you have good luck with Southern Tool Steel, but we don't for some
Yeah.
reason. So we buy most of our tool steel from Cincinnati Tool Steel. It takes us a week and a half to get everything.
Yeah. I
And
mean, for us.
I oh really?
Yep.
Well, I was actually thinking the other day, like if we can get in a better spot, I don't know that it wouldn't be a bad idea if we actually stocked like either drops or like 6 foot bars of
Well, I
like
mean, do, if you could have a standardized size for a lot of the parts y'all are making,
Mhm,
even if like, so say you have a part that you would normally make from like 2x3 by whatever long.
mhm,
And then you have another part that you would make from like 2.25 by 3 by whatever long. And then another one that's like 2 by 3.25 by whatever long, right?
mhm.
Just stock 2.5 by 3.5, and it covers a whole range of parts.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, it's a little bit more expensive for material, but is it really? Because then you're just buying bar stock, which is going to be cheaper, and
Mhm.
cutting it to the length that you need. And there's a little bit more machining involved. However, you're not spending time finding material, like looking through the material you have on hand to see if you even have it. You're also not spending time quoting a bunch of material for every single job. You're just like, I know already when I look at this, we have material here because we stock this, and
Mhm.
it falls in between these size ranges.
Exactly.
I don't know. In my opinion, that's faster, more efficient, and sometimes it's better to just pay a little bit more. Because I
Yeah.
mean, are you really going to notice the cost difference there?
Right. Well, like you say, it's also cheaper too if you buy, especially like a drop, if you can find one, or
Yeah.
one longer bar is cheaper than getting one individual piece cut. Then you got, you're handling it multiple times and all that. So I think that's something that might could help us both on lead time and just the problem is like last time we kind of did something like that. He bought it was a piece of like 4x5 by 3 feet long S7, and we've been making parts out of it that I mean, there's a lot of waste,
Yeah.
and you got
Yeah.
to make like 2 or 3 saw cuts and
Well,
spend an hour or 2 hours.
exactly. And that's what I
Right.
mean. Like, you need to have multiple sizes,
Exactly.
but you stock those sizes. So stock like, you know, 1x2, and then 2x3, and then three by
Hmm.
four, something like that. But keep it like within reason. Like if you never make a part small enough for 1x2, obviously don't stock that. But
Yeah.
basically look at what you typically make and stock, reasonable size ranges that would cover a broad range of those parts that you would typically make.
Yep.
It's the same thing we did with round bar. Um, you get into like 2 inch, 2.5 inch, 3 inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7-inch. Like that's the way we'll do it. And so we will typically buy 20-foot random lengths, cut into 3 equal lengths. That way they're easier to handle.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what we stock. And so if I need to make a part that's 3 3/4, just grabs a 4-inch round bar, or if it's 3 1/4, 4-inch round bar, whatever. It falls within that range. It's not like a huge range to where you're killing a ton of extra material.
Mm-hmm.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, I might see if I can throw that out there and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
I think it can help.
Dude, standardize. I mean, that's my advice to anybody. Like, standardize anything and everything you can.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't get hung up on having like the perfect material on size for every single thing you do, or even like the perfect tool on hand for every single thing you do. You know, it's like standardizing tools in the mill. That's another thing. We're standardizing our setups in the lathe. You know, so you I don't know, just some examples there of like you save on setup time with a lot of that stuff. I did a job this week, or programmed the job this week, where I used like 9 or 10 tools. We only had to load 3.
Yep.
Because everything was already in the mill, you know, 1/2-inch rougher, 1/2-inch finisher, 3/8 rougher, face mill, a chamfer mill, you know, already all in there, ready to go, because we keep stuff standardized. Same tool numbers in every machine. So no matter what machine you run stuff on, it's the same. So then you just load the tools that you actually do need for that job, which will be like 3 or 4 tools. A lot of times, you know, maybe some drills and taps, or like a high feed mill. That's all you got to do.
It helps a lot, man.
It does.
All that kind of stuff.
Yep.
We have time to do this last one here, Valerie?
Yeah, let's do this last one because my tip kind of plays off of this one.
Okay.
So, best way to become proficient in CAM software.
You just got to do it. Is there a best way?
I would say don't just learn the software's menus, knowing where things are. Learn each toolpath strategy, how it's used, why it's used, understand the machine and intent in between your parameters that you're using. A lot of times I'll see people say, well, I can't do this. I did this. Well, you're missing, you didn't hit this parameter. You skipped that one, or you didn't change this. That's why it's not working. And they blame the software. And a lot of times it's just inexperience. You need to understand what each parameter does to get the toolpath to do what you need it to do.
Yeah. I feel like most CAM softwares are pretty good. It really comes down to the person using it.
Yeah.
And how much time they've actually spent trying to figure it all out. Like, obviously some are harder to learn than others. Like, they're less intuitive, laid out in a weird way, and we're like, this doesn't make sense at all. But
there's actually a guy on Practical Machinists forum. I think he posted yesterday. He's a CamWorks user. He was trying to figure something out, couldn't figure it out. And then it looks like he's just trying to find an excuse to switch software. But he was like, there's one example of something that didn't work for him was using an on-size end mill for a slot. He couldn't figure out how to drop the tool down in he said he had to use a minus comp to make it work. And then, so I posted a video on how to do it. Like, it's simple. It's not that hard to do. You don't have to do a minus comp. It works. And then he responded, I was like, well, you can't do a start point. I always put a hole in the center of my slot, and I want to drop the end mill in the center of the slot and then go. I did that for him too. It's like, and then he did say, he's like, I've only been using this for 2 years. I'm like, you don't have enough experience to understand. Like, you don't know what the parameters are doing.
Yeah. It takes a long time too, from what I've figured out. Like, it takes a long time to like actually be proficient to where you're like, you're the guy that can pretty much answer any question about the software and like how to manipulate your toolpath to do what it is you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's not something you figure out in just a year or two.
No. I mean, I've been using the same one for 15 years, and every now and then I come across something. I'm like, damn, where the fuck? Why didn't I learn that 10 years ago?
Right?
Yeah.
The last trade show I was at, I was over at the HCL booth, and I was asking a question about something, and he was walking through, showing me, trying to get to what I was trying to explain. And he did something. I don't remember what it was. He did something. I'm like, hold on. Like, let's go 2 steps back. What the hell did you just push there? And it's, kind of remember what it is, and it's something that I've used since. So but yeah.
Well, what would you say, Brad, is the best way to like stay? Because my experience has always been, you're on the job, like I am with Fusion here. I'm kind of learning it as I need to, as it comes up.
Yeah.
I'm learning it from the guy that learned how to use it him on his own, and YouTube helps some. And I mean, I've reached out to some of our friends like Sam and Lone Wolf and whatnot, Possum, for help. But like, it is tricky because different softwares, handle things differently, obviously. Otherwise, they'd all
They
be one
handle them
software.
differently, but they're similar to an
Yeah.
extent.
Right.
I recommend just watching people program in any software. When I first started, I mean, even to this day, there's not very many CamWorks videos out there, but I've watched a shit ton of Mastercam videos, and I see, what they do. I mean, they might label a button upside down, and then in CamWorks, that's down upright or something dumb. It's just a matter of finding it. And I see how he did it and how we selected the surfaces and, how we drove it. And it's just figuring it out on my end how to do it. That's how I learned a lot of program, was watching another cam videos.
I guess that kind of goes back to when we had Module Works with us. A lot of these softwares have the same base; they just have a different face.
Integration.
Yeah.
So
some are integrated great, and some are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cam knows you run two different. You have two different ones. You got one that's decent and one that's terrible.
Yeah. I don't even know how to create a new toolpath in GibbsCam.
No.
So fucking difficult to figure out. Like, I mean, obviously somebody that knows what they're doing, they hop in there and boom, 1 second, they've got it. But me trying to figure it out without anything, I don't know, like you hop into Fusion, you could get a toolpath started, no problem. Like it ain't hard to hop in there and figure out what you need to do in order to make something happen.
Yeah.
No.
But I hop back into Gibbs and I'm like, what in the actual shit is going on here? You start clicking stuff and hoping something works, and then you hit do it instead of redo, and now you got duplicate toolpaths when you didn't mean to do that.
Do it? Is that a button? Do it?
Yeah. So
oh my god,
weird.
It's like a just do it.
Yeah. So like on the left side, on the upper half of the left side, you'll have all your tools. Then on the right side, you'll have toolpaths or groups, I guess is what I don't even know. So like you double click that, and then you'll have like the actual toolpath down here on the bottom left. So you double click that and it opens up. Like say you need to change some feeds and speeds real quick, right? So you change them. Well, there's always this little window floating around, like the little machining window, where you can hit redo or hit do it. And so like if you were to just change something, you didn't want a new toolpath, you just changed it, you would hit redo. But if you needed a new one, then you'd hit do it and it would duplicate it. But if you were doing it like the first time and you hit do it, then I guess you would just have the one. I don't know.
Well, I want to know where do it came from. I feel like they
got all kinds of shit like that. Like there's body bag. I don't know what body bag does, but
what in the world?
Another one in there.
I feel like it was probably built by two dudes in their basement, and
right.
He was like around, and the other guy was like, "Just do it."
Yeah.
And like, we're gonna name it "Do It."
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I can see that being a useful thing where you're like, do it. Like you're trying to figure out what you need to do, and it's like I got this toolpath and I need it to just happen. You hit the do it button, But yeah, I don't know. It's also 2016 GibbsCam, so it's a little bit outdated. So anybody that's using something newer, that's probably not the way it works anymore. I don't know. Maybe
I would hope not.
Who knows?
Jeez.
Oh. Yeah.
The other thing, Pat, I would say you can do. I don't know if Fusion does it or if other side assume they do. But when you get new releases, read the documentation that comes with what's new.
Yep.
I read it every time it comes out, and just to see. I mean, I've gone back and found stuff like, oh, I didn't even know it was that release this time.
Yeah.
And it's cool.
Yeah, that's true. And with Fusion, like it happens pretty often. They get updated. Seems like once a month or better.
Yeah,
sometimes better, sometimes worse. Whereas like with the solid cam, what I was using, it was once a year, basically. So yeah, I mean, it is interesting to see the little changes here and there, and it's just, I guess the biggest thing is just taking the time to do it.
Yeah.
That's
I'm with you there. Like I'll have it'll update and it'll have a little thing that pops up and says like, the little link that says what's new. So I click that,
Mhm.
and it opens up the internet with the page that shows everything that got updated. And I'll have that thing open for like 3 weeks straight and never read it.
Is
And
it
you need to go back and look at it, but
are them updates like new features or just like bug fixes?
they do like, I don't
It
know.
depends.
It depends. It seems like they do like 3 or 4 um, feature releases a year.
Yeah.
And then most of them are bug fixes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Or
And
like,
I
or
think that
performance improvements as well. That's another
yeah,
thing.
I think that's pretty typical for most software is
Yeah.
you get the new features annually, and then like with SolidWorks or CamWorks or Service
Yeah.
Packs, you're fixing stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, like with Fusion, I mean, it'll be every like 2 or 3 months, I think, that they do a bigger release where it actually has new features and stuff. And I like it being that way versus like annual because if you look at Fusion 1 year apart, a lot of stuff changes. You know,
Mhm.
they change a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of improvements every single year. So if you were to just get all of that dropped on you in 1 year, you're gonna just keep doing things the way you used to do them
Oh yeah,
versus implementing like these 3 or 4 new things that you found last month.
yep,
And then, a few months later, it's like, another thing or 2 that applies to you that they changed. So,
yeah,
and it's also got like Fusion also has, you've got the design workspace, generative design, simulation, the electronics like PCB workspace, um, rendering workspace, the manufacturing workspace. So they're updating all of that stuff too. So like when you get a new drop, like there's also a bunch of stuff for those other workspaces too. So,
yeah.
which I don't look at any of that, but
It's good to know. I mean, I just feel like that's something that I've kind of probably always struggled with because it's always been a case of I'm right here in the trenches having a program for people or a program for myself, and I don't have time to stop and actually try to get better other than what I have to for the immediate job.
yeah,
And again, I think it just comes back to taking the time to do it. Like, um, well, I don't want to get us too sidetracked, but you know, uh, some of the stuff that I've had to get some help with from like Sam and them. Um, a lot of times it's something dumb that it just don't I don't know, it just doesn't click for me. Like
yeah.
why would it be that? Now that I know that's what it is, I know,
Well,
but
like going from one software to another, I
mm,
think definitely does that to you. Because like I started in Fusion
mhm,
and everything just kind of made sense. Or like I didn't have that like, well, why would it be there? Like why would it be like this? It was more so, oh, okay, so that's where that is.
mhm,
That's how it was for me. But now when I look at other softwares, I'm like, what the hell? Why would you put that there? You know? So now I mean I get that perspective.
mhm,
But as far I'm with you too on like, when you're just in the middle of trying to just get work done and you got a lot of stuff going on all the time, you don't have the time to like really dig into stuff, see how it all works, that sort of thing. So I don't know. I try to make it a point to like whenever I have random questions or like maybe I see something on YouTube or Instagram, I'm like, okay, I need to go back and watch that. Or the what's new drop. I try to make it a point to actually dig into that stuff so that way I stay proficient or stay up to date on whatever new thing is happening.
for sure.
Yep.
I will say a little kind of shout out I want to give. There's a YouTube channel called JIT CAD Cam. I guess that stands for just in time CAD Cam. He does a lot of fusion videos, and they have been very helpful for me.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, everybody knows John Saunders. NYCCNC. His videos are good on fusion,
Yeah.
but JIT CAD Cam has been a big help too. So it'd be something to check out.
Yeah. I'll have to check that out.
Hey, you wanna hear my tip now?
Let's hear your tip.
Yep.
Give us your tip.
Your cam library is your future self's best friend. Save your feeds, speeds, and strategies.
Yes. Say it
I know
again.
a lot of people don't do that, but
Say it
you
again.
have to.
Yeah.
Pat, have you been saving them?
Yes, I have.
Good.
I've been
you know,
saving
so
them.
many-
Cloud or locally? 'Cause you have
I have to check. I'm
Yeah.
not used to all this cloud nonsense.
Well, so since there's you and Mark, both using Fusion, you have your own seats.
Yeah.
You should be saving tools in the cloud. That way, whenever one of you builds a tool, you
You
both
can-
have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
That
copy
stuff is in the
Reddit.
cloud. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was thinking of like toolpath templates and stuff like that. I've been trying to save some of those here and there, like the geodesic toolpath, which is awesome when you can get it
Yeah.
to work. Sam's given me a lot of help on that. I went and saved a couple templates of that, so I know, okay, other than maybe changing the tool based on the part or whatever, it'll work.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a great tip, Brad.
I always save stuff. I got some. I don't know what. I don't think they're called templates and Camworks, but I got a bunch saved. I got a drop down, and I name them the dumbest names. And it's like I go back and read it, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I don't even know what that is for now.
Dude, yeah. I've got a few things in my template library where I'm like, I don't even know what that's supposed to do.
No.
So I try to make it as descriptive as possible, so there's like no confusion whatsoever now.
It is nice.
What I've
like with Fusion,
What I
you
found best to do now is I try to save the name and then I reference the part number or part, so then I can open that part and see what it's doing.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's helpful.
Yeah, it's nice in Fusion with like templates and stuff. You can actually you can name it, and then you can also do like a description too.
Yeah.
Because man, I'm terrible about like trying to be slick and doing like some kind of shorthand for something like, like a geodesic toolpath on the 5-axis. It'll be like GEO-5AX-BD for Bendai or something. And I come back like a month later when it's time to do another one. I'm like, what is this? And by then I've learned something new, so I ain't going to do it that way anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing is, like whenever you figure out new feeds and speeds for a new material or something for a tool that you frequently use, go back and update that in your cloud library or main library or whatever it is you have set up. That way it's there in the future. So like over time now I've got like this one tool that I use for a bunch of stuff. I've got feeds and speeds for, roughing 1018, roughing 4140, 303, 304, whatever. So then whenever I get a program later, I don't even think about feeds and speeds. Like 90% of the time, don't even think about it. Grab the tool from the library, select what it is I want, whatever material I'm doing, roll with it.
Yep.
So if you go back and update that stuff frequently, and what I'll do in Fusion anyway is I'll go back into my cloud library, delete that tool, and then I'll take it from my part file that I was just programming on, and I just updated everything on, and just drag and drop it into my cloud library again. So that way everything that's been updated is there. And I try to avoid updating under like the specific toolpath if it's going to be like some established feeds and speeds. Like sometimes you got to just tweak things because it's, you're getting chatter because of a weird setup or something. Obviously you don't want to save those feeds and speeds, but if it's like a good like base feeds and speeds for some new material or something for that tool, I don't update it underneath that individual toolpath and then do that across all of them. I go back into the tool in that file and change it there or add the new feeds and speeds there. Then in the actual toolpaths, I'll select that from the dropdown.
It's a good way to handle it.
Yep.
Yep. Good tip, Brad. I almost shared that, I think, for our first tip. And then you, honestly, you're the guy that kind of put that in my head that I need to work on that. So like, that should be your tip. So I'm glad you got.
I tried to get you to do it at your last job.
Yeah.
From what I've watched, SolidCam's got some decent template setups.
Yeah, it does. It kind of goes back to what we were just talking about. I never got deep enough into it to.
Yeah.
The fellow that took over my spot there, he's been having a time because he got forced into updating from, I think we were on 2019 SolidCam in 2025, because in like 2021 they went to Toolkit. You've heard me fuss about this before, Brad. It completely changed the tool management system and made it really complicated. And it'd be awesome for Swiss machines, Swiss machining or 5-axis machining or mill turns, that kind of stuff. I don't think it would have went real well if they were busy. They've not been busy this year, and it's kind of afforded them the time to learn it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah. Same thing with like, I've done the same with CMM programming, and like you're busy and you're just like, I don't even know what the hell's happening here, but I got this one diameter to get checked and F everything else because this was the most important one. Or the hardest to check. And then once things finally slow down, you're like, all right, I can spend an entire day sitting here screwing with this thing, figuring out how to program it, and then do that. And then I save that as like, use this as your example. That's the name of the file.
Right.
That's a good
First
idea.
part number, and then be like, oh crap, what part was that?
I think that's a good spot to wrap up, huh, boys?
Yep.
That's all for this episode of the Impractical Machinist Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or the Practical Machinist YouTube channel so you never miss an episode.
Also, give us a like or a 5-star rating if you enjoyed this episode. Drop a comment down below of what you learned from us, or to share your own experience and spread the word. Let your fellow machinists know about us.
If you have any follow-up questions, you can DM us on Instagram, Practical Machinist Forum, or the Practical Machinist Discord. Check out our Instagram as well at JobShopperTN, at Machining is Cool, and at Marvel Machining.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Keep those chips flying.